Hey y'all, it's Addison Rae
and Sheri.
Welcome to our podcast, Mama Knows Best, a podcast original. Every week we'll explore the touchy subjects of love, dating, relationships, and growing up.
And I always know best.
Or do you? And just a friendly reminder, you can find episodes of Mama Knows Best for free, exclusively on Spotify.
Remember to follow the podcast so you never miss a brand new episode every week.
Today's episode is all about friends. We're going to talk about how we keep close to our old friends while finding new friends here in LA. Let's get into it. I've met so many people in LA, it's so crazy. I don't really know. It's so weird because they definitely are different, don't you think? My hometown friends versus here town friends.
Yeah, I would say.
It's just a different vibe, you know? I feel like hometown friends, well, obviously it was before a lot of stuff happened for me in my life. So it's obviously the friends were different, the people I was around. Because now it's I surround myself with people who are kind of similar to me and but I always kind of did that, right? When you think? I kind of always have found friends that have similar interests in a way. I mean, obviously that's what friends are. What am I saying?
Yeah, I think you have a whole variety of friends, different interests.
Yeah, exactly. I feel I don't really have a specific friend I look for. It's just whoever I connect with, you know? But I feel you're the same way. You just talk to whoever and if they're similar to you, then that's how you kind of know. Or just kind of if you connect. They don't even have to be similar. They could be completely opposite.
Yeah, I'd say that it's been a little difficult for me, but at the same time that it's been difficult anywhere that I've moved different places. Mostly I'm meeting my kids' friends.
Yeah.
And, well, not just their friends, but their friend's mom.
Yeah. I feel you've met a lot of my friends' parents so far. And that's kind of how you know them.
And Enzo, he's meeting friends, so I'm meeting his friend's parents.
Exactly. Yeah. Which is making it a little easier because we're not really a way for you to make friends outside of that right now. You know what I mean? In this time, you can't just go places very openly and just meet people. Right. Which that's not really your personality either though. Realistically, you wouldn't go to a place and be what's up? I'm Sheri. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're just a little more shy. And I feel you have a lot of home friends that you still talk to every now and then, you know, so you have that core group of people that you've already become comfortable with long ago. And you kind of just kept that instead of finding new friendships, I guess.
Yeah. I like meeting your friends' parents.
Yeah. I mean, I feel a lot of them don't have parents here.
Right. So when I meet them, they're usually not living here. So it's very hard to keep those friendships and you haven't seen them or you won't see them for months.
Yeah, exactly. Because not very many people's parents live in LA. I mean, a few do, but just not as many as there are kids here. You know, there's so many young people that I can befriend that you wouldn't necessarily ever meet their parents.
Yeah, I tend to be more protective of that, but I know you don't really appreciate that. So I try to stay out of it as much as I can.
I do appreciate it, but
without giving my opinion.
I love your opinion, Mom. You know that, but
I would beg to differ.
Okay. Well, I would beg to differ as well. We can agree to disagree. I do like your opinion, but sometimes it's just too overwhelming. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's too much of an opinion where it almost makes me feel obligated to make a specific decision on your opinion. Instead of forming my own and then comparing it, I can't even make my own because I feel so intensely overwhelmed with your opinion. So then I tend to make that decision based on your opinion instead of what I actually feel could be right.
I feel I've always been protective and wanted to voice my opinion on what I feel
towards my friends.
Towards any friends here or in Louisiana.
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, I think you always have a outside view of things and you can give me that opinion on your thoughts, you know. But I think sometimes I was saying, sometimes the opinion, overweighs my, feelings or, how I can view it. Or, I mean, I think both ways. It goes both ways. You know my friends to a certain level because you see an outside view, but, I know them to another level because I am more personal and, close with them. So I think there's, just two ways to look at it. And sometimes, the outside opinion that you have will, overweigh that, my, true knowing of that person or, You know what I mean? I don't know. I spend more time with them, I think. So I just kind of have like a different thought process when I hang out with them, which is sometimes like obviously like blinded, you know, because of that. But like, I love your opinion. Don't ever think that I don't. I really do. And I've told everyone that I love your opinion, but I think sometimes you just push it onto me too much to where it like completely covers any of my feelings towards that. And then I almost feel pressured to like base my decision off of your opinion. I don't think I've ever rejected friends or like cut them off because you didn't like them because of that like opinion of my, like the opinion that I have on them or like my thoughts or connection with them. But I think, I mean, it definitely does affect it. Like sometimes I'll just like, I mean, I'll definitely look at it differently when you say things or whatever, but like I'm just really not to holding grudges, and like you are a little more like that. Like you'll hold someone to something they do, and like I never do that. And it's like sometimes a good thing, sometimes a bad thing, because like I should definitely.
Yeah. If you continuously allow something that is something wrong that is happening to you, or someone's causing something painful or whatever, if you continue to allow it and just let it back into your life, then that's not okay either.
No, I 100% agree. I just like am unfortunately very open with like myself and my feelings, which sometimes, I mean, that's good and bad. It's good because like you can get close with so many people, but it's also bad because sometimes you let people too far in your life, and then it's like, oh no, like you don't actually know if they're like here forever or like here for the long run. But I don't know. I'm working on it. I've definitely gotten better at like less sharing myself to people that I'm like new around.
For some reason, it's harder for me to make friends, but I tend to share more. Like I'm very open.
Oh, you
I'm
are
very honest,
I
and I'm very
get that from
open,
you.
which makes it hard to find new friends.
Yeah, I feel like you're more open. Like, yeah, we both are like that. I totally get that from you. Never realized that until I just thought about it. But like you do that a lot. Like you open up to people like super quickly.
But I
like,
don't open up to everyone.
But when you do, it's like very fast. It's the nodding your head no for me. Next up, we're going to talk about qualities that you look for in friends that are good for you, and also toxic friendships that can be bad for you.
Hi, listeners. Parcast has teamed up with the co-hosts from the hit podcast Morbid to bring you the next big thing in true crime and podcasts and countdowns. It's called Crime Countdown, and you can hear new episodes every Monday. Here's Ash and Elena to tell you more.
Hi, I'm Ash. And I'm Elena, and we're hosting the new Parcast original series, Crime Countdown.
Ever wonder who the worst serial killer was?
How about the creepiest cult?
Or which is the coldest of all cold cases?
Well, Parcast thinks you deserve answers.
Or at least some passionate opinions, and they've enlisted us and the Parcast research gods to get to the bottom of things.
Every Monday on Crime Countdown, we'll discuss 10 unsettling true crime stories centered around a common theme.
We'll try to shock, surprise, and one-up each other, debating each case and its ranking with just a hint of humor.
We can't help it!
Episode topics range from the off-putting to the offbeat, and include the top 10 fatal romances, the top 10 Zodiac killer theories, and even the top 10 stolen body parts.
We may not always agree,
and we may not be experts.
But that's what the research gods are for. Follow our new series, Crime Countdown, free on Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts.
What are qualities that you look for in friends, Mom, that are like good qualities? If you look for certain things.
I don't think I look for any certain thing. It's just having things in common, and if they're open to sharing their lives or themselves.
So like you want someone that's open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that I can share as well.
Yeah. I feel like for me, it's the same thing. I definitely love someone that's open, but I also like someone that like will just listen. I don't know. I feel like sometimes people give you too much of their opinion, and it's like obviously everyone's different people and like view things differently and have different connections and relationships with everything and everyone. But I do like a friend that can like listen, and then when you need it, you know, like when you really need advice and you ask for it, I love that you can get that from a friend. I don't know. I feel like respecting each other is a huge one. Like always understanding where each other's coming from. And just, I don't know, for me, I like a travel companion. I like someone that can be with me a lot and like hang out and like do crazy things and like check stuff off our bucket list. I don't know. I kind of just like friends that can have a connection deeper than just like a friendship, and then also like are very outgoing. I feel like outgoing people are definitely my people. And someone that's funny. I feel like I look for funny people for sure. I like want someone that I can laugh with. They don't necessarily have to be like, I feel like when I say that, a lot of people could definitely disagree and be like, okay, y'all are not funny. But like, I feel like for me, my sense of humor, like I want someone that can make me laugh. You know what I mean? Which I have a very wide range of humor, in myself for what I think is funny. So a lot of people can make me laugh, but I feel like that's a good thing, you know, because then I always am around people that make me laugh. Not the greatest laugh in the world, but makes me laugh.
Your laugh is fine.
Not what Dad said. He said it's the laugh for him.
It's really hard, like, being older, and because I feel like I would say the same thing as you say for when you're looking for in friends, but it's such a different stage in my life versus yours to be able to say what I look for in a friend.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, so my best friend in Louisiana has a family and she's busy, and when we can talk, we do talk, which could be twice a year, but we'll stay on the phone for hours.
Yeah.
And we're both okay with that. Like, neither one of us, it's like we never didn't talk. We're still on the same page. We still believe the same things. We still
like are still
share the same interests.
Yeah, so like the same, they get the same connections there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, hope I can have plenty of those when I'm your age. I feel like all my friends are super different, like that I've ever had in my life, like that I can name off like close friends. They're all so different. So I don't really have any specific thing I'm looking for in a friend. It's more just like whoever I connect with, which I've been like that forever. It's like, I'm so big on like connections and like soul connections. I don't know. I feel like I just have so many people in my life that I've like, if I connect with you, then it works. Like, and we continue on our friendship. But like, if not, I still consider people my friends, even if I'm not like constantly around them. But I can't really think of any times I've had a really toxic friendship. Maybe just people that I just didn't, you know, maybe you outgrow people or like things happen and like you get hurt by that person and then it kind of just slowly fades away. And then it's really unfortunate a lot of the times, but it's like sometimes for the best. Like, I feel like everyone has their own people and friends, but like sometimes you think you work with someone and then you end up not. Like, it just doesn't, it's not like a good friendship. You know, it's not I wouldn't really call it toxic, but I mean, I guess it can get there, but it's not really the person that's toxic. It's more of like the environment of the friendship or like how you guys treat each other. You know, like that could become toxic, not necessarily the person, but.
No, I don't think for me there's been anything like that.
Well, you have a very close circle. You know what I mean? Like when you're really good friends with someone, you keep that person around. Like you said, you know, your friends from when you were younger, still friends now. But like, if it were to happen now, I feel like you would just be like very mature about it and be like, all right. And you kind of just.
Yeah. Cause I feel like I can sense that already in the beginning as I'm making friends. I can almost sense it if that were to happen or the type of person maybe they are. And I don't know that I would get any deeper into a friendship with them if I have a feeling that it could become toxic. Realistically, do you call up your friend or talk to your friend and say, hey, this is not working anymore? I don't believe you really do that. I don't believe anybody does that. I think they just slowly stop talking or they become busy, or, you know, when your friend that you don't want to hang out with anymore wants to make plans, you're doing something else. Or
yeah, I mean, I agree. I feel like
because what are you going to tell the person?
Yeah, no, I agree. And I feel like it is an awkward conversation for sure. But I think if you are close enough with that friend, you're able to say that. Only if you're close enough. I mean, if it's just like a base level friendship, obviously it's more like, okay, well, I'm going to slowly stop hanging out with this person. But like, I still, at the same time, I think there is, whether that's talking to someone else about it and then they tell that person, like relaying the message, there definitely always is a talk about like, oh, hey, I'm not liking this anymore. Or like, she's this way, or he's, you know what I mean? Like, there's always like some kind of context. You always kind of know. You're definitely never just like, all right, clueless. Like, why did we stop talking? There's always like something that's kind of obvious that there was like a falling out or something. I don't know. I'm more of the person that's like, okay, if you both know that like it's just not the best for you or whatever, like you kind of just move
Well, what
along.
if the friend doesn't know? What if
When you tell them. I feel like for me, though, I would do that. You wouldn't necessarily do that, and I'm not saying you or anyone else would, but for me, I would. Like, I'm very vocal with my feelings, and like I said, I always am vulnerable, so, like, I would always be like, I really don't like this, or, like, I'm not comfortable with this, or, like, I don't like this, and then from that point on, I would kind of just go from there. I don't think it's fair to, like, ghost someone because you don't give them a chance to, like, know what you're not liking, or, like, I don't know. I feel like everyone has a chance to kind of just speak their side. And I mean, people could be going through things in friendships and take it out on you, and you don't really know. And I mean, as a friend, you're kind of supposed to be open about that. I don't know. Maybe I've just been more selective on, like, who those people are, and, like, making sure that we are able to be open with each other before getting into that, so that there's no awkward tension, really. So the closer you get with people can definitely change your likes, dislikes, things you do, your hobbies, interests. But I think with that, you don't have to necessarily fit in with who they are. And next up, we're going to be talking about fitting in relationships without changing who you are. Necessarily change who I am. I definitely will change my likes and dislikes because of when you're around someone so much, you kind of take on, like, little things they like, or, like, whatever, just because you guys get closer, in time, and you start, like, you can definitely pick up, like, lingo and stuff, like, things they say, or, like, habits they have. And, like, I don't know, I feel like I've definitely done little things, like, every friendship I've had, like, taken like a habit or something. Like, I've been like, oh my God, I use this word all the time now. Or, like, anytime someone says, I remember for a long time, a lot of my friends were like, they would answer things and say, of course. And I started saying that so much because you're just around them so much that you just, like, take on that habit and then kind of, like, keep it with you, you know what I mean? And then bring it to, like, who you are and how you kind of act. But I feel like it's never really adjusting who you are as a person individually, because everyone has different, personalities and likes, dislikes, interests. But it definitely does affect it because you want to build a better relationship with your friends, and then you kind of start doing things they like, or talking how they do, or listening to the music they like, and stuff like that. So, like, growing up, I've always had, like, different music tastes, or, like, different, like, style, which I'm not saying I have any, because clearly we all know that I'm not the best stylist for myself, but I do wear what makes me comfortable. But I feel like I've even given people those things. Like, people that I've been around, I've showed them things I liked, and then they started liking them because they're around me so much. And then, like, vice versa, like, they do a lot of things that I'm like, oh wait, I really like that. That's really cool. And then as you grow closer in a friendship, you kind of take on each other's, like, habits or style choices or music choices or anything like that.
But I'm not like that. Whereas I will stay myself the entire time.
No, I mean, I think I stay myself too, but I think I definitely will start doing things how they do them. Or, like, it's not even, but it's not overall as me. It's like with them, I'll be a, like, different way. My friendships are completely different because of that. Like, each connection and friendship I have with people are so different because I just, like, I feel like that's natural though, to kind of, like, adapt with your surroundings and be like, oh, like, this person likes these kind of jokes and stuff. So, like, haha, I'm gonna say these. And then, like, you connect there, and then it's like, but they wouldn't necessarily like a certain genre of music, for say, like, saying that, like, I would listen to certain music with this person, but not that music with this person, but it's still a part of me and what I love. So here's a little story about, like, a friendship that I have had for, like, probably 6 years now, 5, going on 6 years, I'd say, maybe longer, honestly, but how I kind of knew we were going to be friends. So I was just going to high school, the new high school, going to 8th grade, very new, like, didn't know anyone there. It was, like, orientation day, and I remember sitting down in, like, the like, cafeteria area that we were in, and I met it was 3 girls. They were with each other, and they all had, like, Converse on. I totally remember that detail for sure. And I remember I had Vans on, and they were like, oh my gosh, I love your shoes. And I remember one of them, I was like, oh yeah, I'm totally going to be friends with this girl. And literally from that point on, when she complimented my Vans, I just totally knew we were going to be friends. And then now we've almost been friends for, like, 6 years, I'd say. But I feel like it's one of those things where, like, oh, they definitely have, like, the same vibe as me. Like, she was very talkative and, like, fun and, like, laughing. And we kind of just stuck with each other and, like, had so many classes together, and then grew our friendship. And we've literally been through the craziest stuff together, and she was with me on my first trip to LA ever, so. But I definitely knew when I first met her that, like, okay, this girl's totally going to be someone I'm hanging out with a lot in high school, and then looky here, it just happened to go past that.
So for me, I was working at a makeup counter, and my friend was working at a different makeup counter, and we were both outside on a break, and we both started sharing. She was sharing her struggle, I was sharing mine, and that's how we connected and stayed friends.
Did you, like, know?
Well, yeah, because immediately she was okay with sharing something she was struggling with her boyfriend, and I was struggling with something, and I was sharing with her. We just
Connected.
Like
vulnerability, like right off the gate was like, okay, well, we connected. Like I definitely can see her being in my life. Wait, how long have you guys been friends since that day?
17 years we've been friends.
Wow. Well, hopefully I have plenty of those long relationships with my friends. Some advice I would give to people that are struggling with making friends or finding connections is for sure to join things that you're interested in and kind of go from there. So for me, I feel like dancing was like always a big thing that helped me get friends outside of school, but also in school, like taking classes that you really enjoy and then just doing outside activities and stuff like that. Sports, art class, things like music, you never know where you could find your next best friend. And I think starting off with doing something you're interested in is a great way to get into it.
I think I would say to do an activity, to encourage your child to be in an activity that they love, whether it's dancing, sport, and then more than likely they're going to find a friendship in that.
Thank you guys so much for listening. We'll be back next week with hopefully another great episode.
You can find all episodes of Mama Knows Best for free exclusively on Spotify.
Don't forget to follow the podcast, and we'll bring you a brand new episode every week.
And if you like this show, follow @Parcast on Instagram and @Parcast Network on Twitter.
And if you guys have any questions or topics that you guys want us to talk about, you can tweet me @WhoIsAddison or find me on Instagram and DM me @Addison Rae with 2 E's at the end.
Or me @Sheri Nicole on Instagram or @Sheri Nicole with an extra E on the end on Twitter.
Thank you guys again for listening. We love y'all so much. See you next time. Mama Knows Best is a Parcast Studios original. It is executive produced by Max Cutler. Sound designed by Jamie Ryan. It's produced by Kristen Acevedo, John Cohen, and Jonathan Ratliff. Mama Knows Best stars Addison Rae and Sheri Nicole.